Do you ever feel like your life is so full and unpredictable that you just can't keep up with the regular routines? Let's say that you want to do a financial check-in every Wednesday afternoon, laundry Thursday evenings, grocery shopping on Fridays, cleaning the house on Saturdays, and have family meetings on Sundays. But then your kids have a bunch of extra sporting activities, you have guests that come into town, there's a community event that you want to attend, and all of a sudden those great routines that you put into place just don't happen. What do you do then? Today we're talking about how to tailor your routines for your unique life. That means even when it's unpredictable and crazy, you can still get the most important things done. The reason I'm even recording this video is because one of our community members named Rebecca sent me this message, and I thought it was so good and that all of us could relate. She said, "How do you embrace the season of life you're in and make routines that work for it? For example, I teach high school full-time. My husband works an hour away. We have 2 teens that play travel hockey and school sports. We are bound to an ever-changing schedule of running around. Practices conflict with night routines and meal times. It's difficult to find quality family time unless it's driving to a game, etc. It's hard to schedule in weekly routines. Difficult to find time to meet with my partner to go over or even establish our financial check-ins, etc. We have been in this stage for about 6 years now, and about 5 to 6 more years are ahead. It's pretty much bearing us, and we are living in a constant reactive mode." Now, I really feel for Rebecca because we've had times in our lives that felt just like that. And if that's you, first of all, I give you a big hug. But second, I want to provide you with some tools that can help you to know what to do in the middle of all of that, so you don't feel like you're just buried and that there's no hope, because there absolutely is. Idea number 1 is to distinguish between must-do routines and optional routines. There are some must-do things, like we need to pay bills, we need food, we need clean clothes, we need the home to at least be healthy enough to live in, right? But then there are a lot of optional routines, like dusting the ceiling. If you could see my corners right now, you would see I do consider that to be optional. Or things like washing the car. You know, there are some things that don't have to be done. Also, a lot of our must-do routines can be stretched. For example, if you don't have time to do a full menu plan and get all the groceries for the week, you could just go grab some milk to at least get through breakfast tomorrow or something like that. And so recognizing that there is a spectrum of things that have to be done and things that are optional, that's going to help us at least to be able to focus, and when times get super busy, to be able to just do the bare minimum or the minimum viable in order to get by. Idea number 2, if you are constantly stretching and doing the bare minimum with your routines, create some protected time to catch up and get your feet under you. So last week we had so much going on. Eric and I were going to a lot of events that were happening in our community. We had things happening with our family. There's some big projects we're working on, a conference coming up. It's been kind of a lot. And I found that so many things, I had just been keeping up with the bare minimum. So our fridge needed attention. There were items all over the house that needed to be put away. We'd had like active messes that had turned into passive messes. And I was starting to feel just kind of stressed every time I came home, because I could just see things piling up. I'm digging through the fridge to find things, right? And so I took Wednesday night and I just stayed home. There was something else I could have attended, and I said, you know what, I need to catch up. And so I just spent the evening. It was actually glorious because we got the fridge all cleaned, put stuff away, turned on some music, got the house kind of caught up, and I could just tell that I was feeling a lot more calm and present and put together. And the thing is, I know sometimes it's tempting to say, oh no, but I have to keep going. I have to. But part of being an adult is being able to look at our lives and our schedules and our commitments and recognizing that if you keep going, it's coming at a cost. And if you're willing to pay that cost and it doesn't stress you out or the family out, I mean, that's totally up to you, that's fine. But I just found in my own life, I can only stretch so much, and then I just need to, be an adult and say, I have some responsibilities that need my attention. Idea number 3 is to experiment to find the best time for the routine. For example, for something like a financial check-in, you want to be in a good mood and rested and be able to give it your full attention. So maybe that's something you schedule for an early morning and you and your partner get up early and do it then. Or maybe it's even a Zoom call during lunch from your different workplaces where you can actually just focus together for a bit. Or maybe it's Saturday night, you have like a late nap on Saturday and then put the kids to bed, and a Saturday night is when you can actually sit down and just go over it briefly together. And maybe with housework, you combine the laundry and house cleaning. So instead of doing laundry one day, cleaning the house another day, you say, hey, we're going to do it all at once, and the whole family's going to get involved, and it's a big cleaning party. And one of my friends has found that with meal planning, the family will plan together briefly what they're going to make. They buy the ingredients, but then a different family member cooks each night, depending on their schedule for the week. So there's a lot of ways that you can experiment to be able to find out what doesn't work, but really to be able to talk with the family, make this a family council, and have these conversations, because it is important to get some of these basics going in a way that doesn't feel stressful. Idea number 4 is to get creative, considering the people in your home and their ages and stages and how you work together. So if you live alone and it's totally you doing your routines, then you get creative with getting on the phone or listening to audiobooks or doing things like that as you move forward on those routines. But if you have other people in the home, often I find that the person who has the least tolerance for the mess is the one who ends up doing all the work. And I hear all the time things like, well, I could involve the family, but it's easier if I just do it. And I get it, but what I would say is that when you invest in teaching and training in really positive ways, it's going to alleviate the pressure on you so much as you move throughout the years. And it's going to help train your family members so that they can do this for themselves. Here are a few examples. When our children were really little and couldn't work independently, I did what I called chain link routines. So we would be cleaning the kitchen and I would just tell each child, okay, you come to me and I'll give you a little job. You know, like go put this over there. And then as soon as you're done with it, you come back and I'll give you your next job. And so we had 3 children at the time who were all able to help. And so they would each come and get their little jobs, and I would just give them one task at a time. So that worked really well. Then as they got older, I started doing these rotations. So I would say, okay, one of you is going to play with the baby, one of you will do a job independently, and then one of you will do a job with me. And so then I could help and say, well, which job, here's your list of ones you're responsible to do today. Which one do you want me to help you with? So they would look at it and say, okay, I'll do the dusting alone. I want you to help me clean the bathroom. So I'm like, great. So then I would just rotate and do a job with each child. So that way I got one-on-one time with them. I could help teach them, you know, if they needed to learn how to use some of the cleaning tools or things like that. And we had help with the baby, and it worked out really well. And now that our children are older, I mean, most of them are out doing their own things, but with Spencer and I just text him a little list. He does his jobs. We usually unload the dishwasher together, do basic cleaning together, and it works out really well. So I just want you to think creatively though, and don't give up on the people in your home, because if you can communicate clearly what you're going for, and if it's reasonable and everyone can learn that, hey, we all make the mess, we all help clean it up, I think that takes a lot of pressure off you, and it's going to create an environment where everyone's going to enjoy being together. Idea number 5 is to focus on the frequency of the routine, but be really flexible with the time and day. So for example, one of our community members made a routines list that was just a glass frame, and everything was printed on paper, framed. And then they used dry erase markers, and throughout the week, as they got things done, they would just mark it off. So it wasn't like a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday kind of thing. It was just, hey, this week, here's what we need to do. And then they could mark it off and see their progress as they went along. I actually do this often where I'll say, okay, I'm going to do vacuuming or bathrooms or whatever sometime in the next few days. And maybe I'll try to do it on a Wednesday night or something. But if something else comes up or I just don't feel like it, I will just look at my calendar and say, okay, where can I kind of move this? And I pencil it in. So I am leaving some block of time to get it done, but I don't feel stressed out about it. The thing we don't want to do is throughout the whole week say, oh, I don't feel like it. I don't feel like it. And then everything bunches up on Saturday or something. And then you're just cranky trying to get it all done, or you don't do any of it and you just leave it for the next week. So as long as you're giving some general time for those things and then giving yourself flexibility, I think that's going to help us feel a lot more relaxed and not resentful about events or family members or interruptions and things that come up. Idea number 6 is one that I often hesitate to share because I don't want it to come across as critical. but I strongly consider simplifying your life. If you feel like your job, your commitments, all the external things are really pulling you away from the things that truly matter most, I would consider, is there a different job, or could you move closer to a certain job? Are there some external commitments that could be simplified? Could we do fewer extracurriculars? Could we not leave the house as often? And I know that we all have unique lives, and maybe someone loves their job and it's worth it, and everyone loves the sports, and it's just, it's something that's non-negotiable, so that's obviously up to you. But Eric and I have had probably hundreds of hours of discussions about this topic over the years, because we always wanted to live really close to his work, or why we started working from home. A big part of it is so we could have more time together. Our children didn't do a ton of extracurriculars. We encouraged them where they were excited, but we didn't push it because we actually liked being home together. We liked cleaning together and cooking together and just being together as a family. So most of our decisions have created a life that is a lot more home-centered and family-centered and a lot less externally focused. There's still a lot of stuff that pulls us out of the home, and we still do a lot together, but I just encourage you to ask the hard questions, have those conversations, and even just brainstorm and imagine, hey, what if we did it like this? What would that do for us? Because when it comes down to it, your values and the things that you really truly care about, if it's things like family dinners, hanging out together, listening, talking, being able to build relationships while also doing the things you need to do to pay the bills, keep the house going, things like that. I just think that there's often ways that can make that easier and just lighter if we get a little creative and brainstorm together. Okay, next steps for you. I would encourage you to take a few minutes and actually write down the routines that are most important for you, maybe the ones you feel that are not getting the attention that they really need, and then go through the points that we talked about in the video today and ask yourself, okay, are there ways I can be more creative? Are there ways I can block out time to really catch up? Can I stretch some of these routines every once in a while? Can I involve other people? Just do some brainstorming that's going to help you to feel empowered and excited, because as you take on this leadership role in your home and in your family, and as you really open your mind to think about how these routines can get done in ways that feel great. And you could even come to our LearnDoBecome community Facebook group, share the routines you're working on, talk about what you want to do, maybe get some ideas from the community members. They're amazing and they can share with you. And comment here on the video, let me know how things are going. I'm so excited for you to be able to wake up excited and go to bed content, and thrilled that you're here with us on this YouTube channel. Hopefully you're enjoying the videos. Please share them with your friends, get your friends involved so that you guys can build amazing routines together. Okay, we'll see you soon.